Hello and welcome to my series about the Persona / Shin Megami Tensei games. This first episode, and first few parts, are about the video game Persona Q2. It's a game I've been playing a lot recently and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. It is a crossover between the three latest Persona games in the series, which is Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5. And, that concludes the intro. We can get right into... For the artwork, I would like to bring up the fact that it is not done in the standard Persona style. Instead, it's going a more chibi route, and instead deciding to show the distinctive characteristics of the characters' faces and outfits through exaggerated, cutesy figures. It's obviously coming off from Persona 5, so a lot of the style comes from Persona 5. The all-out attacks, I believe there's also some cooperative battle mechanics with certain characters, which though was a thing in Persona 4, it didn't really have any distinctive animations until Persona 5 Royale. So there's a good few of those. The UI, it's the same as Persona Q. I think the only thing that's really different is I think they went the route of Persona 5 and had the different options aligned to buttons instead of a little menu that would pop up. So that's different. I believe the artworks, I will not cover all of the details about the artwork because there's more episodes to come. But for my last bit about it, misspoke. It appears that the color for this game is orange. Now, I'm sure there's people out there who can tell you the significance of the color orange, the same as how blue had to do with death and stuff in the Persona 3 games, and how yellow has to do with joy and disease and all those things in Persona 4. I don't know what orange means, but orange is definitely the color of this game. It's what the shadows of the main characters are. When I'm saying shadow, I don't mean the shadows in the game. I mean the shadows that, you and me make. So, that concludes the small section on the style and artwork of the game. Now on to the gameplay. While this does not play like a standard Persona game, it is a Etrian Odyssey game. Now, I have not played an Etrian Odyssey game, so I cannot speak to the quality of those, but I do believe they are about you fighting mythological creatures or gods or something like that. I'm sorry to anybody watching this who knows Etrian Odyssey. And I believe it's a dungeon crawler. The unique mechanic of this, and probably Etrian Odyssey, I probably should play a little bit of those in order to really make the parallels between them, is that in Etrian Odyssey, you have 2 rows, and you have 5 characters. There's 3 in the front row and 2 in the back, with differing weapons that are ranged and not ranged. It's recommended that you put ranged people in the back, and they're also less likely to get hit, by the way. So you can also move characters around during combat. There's also the, what's it called? I believe it was called One More in Q2. But basically, exploiting a weakness in the Persona series will allow you to knock down that enemy and then hit another enemy. And this normally results in a all-out attack where everyone gangs up on all the enemies and does massive damage. That's still here, and it's done pretty well considering you have 5 people. It's a little easier to pull off, but I would say that the strategy comes in like knowing the order in which people are going to attack, which it doesn't tell you who is attacking next. At least I don't think so. I will update you on the gameplay section of future videos. But that's about it for the combat, at least for this video. If anything new comes to mind, I'll talk about it in the next video. Another gameplay element is the map making. In this game, you draw out the map in the landmarks and stuff. So as you walk, you draw the walls. And you don't have to draw the path is already there. You draw the walls and you note down where there's treasure chests and treasure spots and stuff like that. Doors, obviously. Probably be a little useful to know where stuff ends. And basically, as you play, you map it out, and at the end of it, if you've, walked around 100%, you get a special item from these little gold chests. And to be honest, I absolutely love this. It's a way to like mark your progress without outright telling you how far along you are. So like you can look at the map and be like, oh, I'm halfway done because I've drawn half the map, and I would be lying if I didn't say that it feels good to draw out the map yourself. It feels like you are some sort of explorer going through these unknown worlds, and I just think that's pretty cool. That does it for the gameplay section of this video. As I said, I will continue doing most, if not all, of these sections as I do more videos. Or if I do run out of ideas, it will just be the story parts in my thoughts on the chapter. I apologize, by the way. This is actually unscripted, so I'm going off my head, so sorry for all the so's. Onward to the story section. In Persona Q2, you start off as the Persona 5 team, and they're exploring mementos with everyone in tow. So this takes place, I believe, between the 5th or 6th dungeon of Persona Q. Not Persona Q, Persona 5. I do not recall which ones those are without spoiling the game, so sorry about that. But basically all the characters from Persona 5 are in your party at the start of the game. And as they go through mementos, they're dragged in to a little portal and transported into a cityscape that's like a Western cityscape straight out of a comic book. And it's got superheroes and stuff everywhere. And there's one superhero who stands above them all called Kamoshida Man. And this isn't much of a spoiler for Persona 5, but Kamoshida is the first palace ruler of Persona 5, and, well, that's just the first mystery of this game. Is why it's Kamoshida representing a character in this movie. But basically they escape the movie in a way. And when they escape the movie, they are placed into a dark, it's like kind of spooky movie theater. And, well, obviously the movie Kamoshida Man is playing on the screen. I apologize. My mind is wandering a little bit. And as they explore the movie theater, they encounter a few different people. One is called Doe, named after John Doe, the name given to unidentified male bodies. And the other ones, I do forget their names, but it's a small, shy girl and a older woman who I believe owns the movie theater that this is taking place in. And they're just as unaware as why they're there as the Persona characters are. There's also a door that has 4 locks on it, and in order to escape the movie theater, they have to find 4 keys in the 4 different movies that all have differing topics. Like one's dinosaurs, the other's a comic book movie, and so on and so forth. And I'm not going to be spoiling any of the real plot elements, but I thought I would cover the first section of the plot in this video. So basically, when you escape the movie theater, you lose the 2 characters Makoto and Haru in the movie, and Kamoshida Man has captured them. And the whole point of Kamoshida Man's movie is about like tyrannical leaders, and though people do need somebody to like show them the way, similar to like a president or like any leader, a leader of a company or anything like that, ruling with power and threatening your own people in order to say what's just and what's not just isn't right. And well, yes, it's kind of like a childish topic. I'm sure you as an adult know this, but I don't know. Maybe there's some people out there who don't get that message, and well, that's what this movie's about. It's put together really well. It is the stereotypical superhero tyrant story, as you know. It's been done quite a few times at this point, be it with Superman, I believe it's called Red Sun Superman, where he's Russian or something like that. Or, I don't know comic books, as you can tell. But basically, it's that the people don't really trust Kamoshida Man. He's just so powerful and could end all of them if he wanted to, so they just do as he says, and he's got the police wrapped around his finger, and he is justice in this world. And basically, while going through this, the small girl in the movie theater is basically rooting against you, but not in a malicious way, but she just doesn't believe you should go against the current, which is a very Japanese sentiment to have, is that going against the current is bad and that you should just go with everybody. But that's not what the Phantom Thieves stand for, and I believe that is the main point of this story, is being yourself, doing unique things despite what society tells you is just or cool and stuff like that. Obviously, in this section, there is one character added that is a crossover. Now, I did play Persona 3 Portable first. It was the first game of Persona I ever played, but I never played through her section of the story. It's the FemC, as she's called. The female protagonist of Persona 3 Portable is in this game, and that's very, very rare. She is never ever talked about in any of the other games because she was considered non-canon. I don't know if this game is canon or maybe her inclusion means it's definitely not canon. But basically, she's in the game. She's her Najinata, just like in the Persona 3 Portable. And I really wish I could say more about her, but I really don't know. She's very cute. She's got a very clumsy, sweet character. And I will say that I could see myself playing her section of Persona 3 Portable at some point in the future. I believe in that game it does change the story quite a bit. And well, this section is getting rambly, so I'll move on. And now time for my final thoughts on the game. My final thoughts on the game is it's a spin-off. Spin-offs are fun to me. I think they're a nice way to see characters I love again. Same with Persona 4 Dancing or Persona 5 Dancing or any of those, except Persona 5 Dancing actually doesn't really have that many story elements, but you get to see the characters interacting, and that's the main draw. But in this title, actually, it's a little better than the other spin-offs. I won't say it's better than something like Strikers, but it's got a nice amount of story to it, and I believe they've learned their lesson from the last Persona Q game in the way that they're not just caricatures of their former self. While they do make the same jokes, they're three-dimensional in like they react like they would in the game. The main problem with the first game was that they all were like, Chie was always like, "Oh, meat, it's meat time, hell yeah." And like Kanji was just like a caricature of himself being all girly and kind of missing the point of their story arcs in the original game. And I would say the same about the Persona 3 characters, but to be honest, I don't think they had much personality in the first game. Akihiko obviously is talking about his protein and training all the time. He had a little bit of a relationship, not a romantic one, just a friendship, with Chie, which is actually kind of canon to the storyline. In Persona Arena, she calls him her senpai and admires him and his strength. But I haven't gotten to the rest of the characters yet. But if I'm just going off from the Persona 5 characters and the inclusion of the female protagonist of Persona 3, I do believe that they're going to do a better job this time. I will talk about the other characters' depictions in future videos. I probably don't have to keep telling you that, but I feel the need to, just to pad out my video. But that's my final thoughts on this section. And that concludes my video. Feel free to check out my other videos on my channel. They are not ad-libbed videos of me talking about a video game, but instead you will find me attempting to voice act. And if you do watch any of those, you can click any of the ones on screen right now. Subscribe if you like this content, because I plan on making a lot more of these videos in the future, alongside my voice acting videos. So yeah, have a nice night, everybody.